Hi, I'm Johnny Ebert. I'm the lead designer on Dawn of War 2. I'm here at Leipzig to talk to you about the Tyranids. Well, once we started making the sequel, we knew from day one that we were going to actually be making the Tyranids and putting them in there. And I'll tell you, it was very, very difficult to keep it secret, and it was very, very difficult to hide our enthusiasm, especially that was always the people's first question is, are the Tyranids going to be in Dawn of War 2? And we'd have to be really coy. And the funny thing is, we thought the fact that we were being so coy was a dead giveaway, but the fans were just dying. They were like, come on, please tell us, please tell us. So the fans were really excited to see Tyranids finally appear in Dawn of War 2, but I can tell you one thing, the team was even more excited to put them in there. We actually wanted to put them in the original Dawn of War, but it was a very quick project, and the engine was new, and we weren't sure we could do everything with the Tyranids that we wanted to, because they're one of the most special races in the universe. And then when the sequel, we got our next generation engine, we knew that we could actually roll out the Tyranids in a way that would be really exciting. And I guess the most obvious benefit of waiting until Dawn of War 2 is the Essence engine just has such amazing graphical fidelity. It really is a next generation that's built from the ground up. And we've taken that original next generation engine, we've added a lot of really cool features like ragdoll physics, powered ragdoll, dynamic lighting, and HDR lighting. And I think of those, it's the dynamic lighting that's the most exciting. And you put the Tyranids in that environment, you see their carapaces like shining in the sun or glinting sinisterly in the dark, or you see their luminous eyes in a dark area of the map. It's very immersing, and it's kind of creepy. As a small Space Marine strike force, you are the only thing standing between an entire Tyranid invasion and an entire sector of the galaxy. There is no help coming. You are the help. The Tyranids are like the ultimate threat that's probably going to ultimately destroy the galaxy. You read about all the battles among the other races we've done. There's quite a bit of parity. Like the Imperium is pretty stable and it's kind of holding together. The Orcs, maybe, if they ever fully got together, would destroy the Imperium. They might eventually wear the Imperium down. Chaos are a really deadly threat, but they're very contained. Everything's kind of holding together in a very tenuous balance. But the Tyranids are something that just completely surrounds the galaxy, and they're like this giant. The way Games Workshop described it to us was they're like a giant set of eyes all the way around the rim of the galaxy. And all these Tyranid invasions that have almost completely wiped out the Imperium is basically like the equivalent of like one finger testing the water, and then maybe a thumb testing this angle, and a pinky going like this. And if it ever just decided to fully stick its hand in there, the galaxy would be gone. Working on the Tyranids is really exciting, but it's also very challenging because we put a lot of pressure on ourselves. We really want to just knock it out of the park. The biggest challenge is getting the Tyranids to behave like Tyranids, to get that kind of swarm behavior, because they're trillions and trillions of beings all unified by a single hive mind. It's like one mind working together. And we've actually gone to nature as our guideline. One of our biggest guiding points is the film Jurassic Park. So the Gaunts, the mealy ones, we kind of modeled them after the velociraptors, how they kind of like leap onto their prey. They'll leap high into the air and land right on top of their prey, and it looks very lifelike and very eerie. And for the ranged Tyranids, especially the smaller ranged ones, we modeled them on the very small dinosaurs you see in the original Jurassic Park, that they always stay just out of reach. You know, if you charge towards them, they'll stay just out of your reach, and then if you back away, they'll close in very greedily. And it's a very eerie feeling. It's frightening. You feel like you're being hunted by a very intelligent and sinister predator. Because we have that environmental-based combat, we can bring out one of their biggest strengths, and that's the fact that the Tyranids turn the environment against you. Like when they arrive at a planet, the first sign that they're there, aside from the fact that there's a big hive fleet like blocking out the sun literally, but you'll see spores raining down in the atmosphere. And what happens is the vegetation on your planet begins to mutate wildly, and it becomes very hostile, and it starts like spawning spore mines, or like floating organic mines that seek out moving targets and explode. They'll also you'll see like really savage vines sprouting from the ground that are actually predatory vines. And then finally you'll see like brood nests spawning. What brood nests do is they'll actually start spawning Tyranids nonstop. They start soaking up the biomass on the planet and creating like hostile Tyranids that are designed to kill everything living. Their ultimate goal is to devour every organic molecule on a planet now that we have the Tyranids and you have like this environmental based combat, watching the Tyranids like leap into the air over physical obstacles to get to you, things like that, just, or the fact that Tyranids can burrow under the ground and they can appear under you and ambush you, it really does raise the temperature on our brutal melee combat. All of our stuff in Dawn of War 2, actually in all the Dawn of Wars, has been animated by hand, and I think it's a testament to how amazing our animators, because a lot of people actually do think it is motion capture, but that's the joy of having super amazing animators, is hand animation, when done extremely well, is better than real life. It's more exciting, and just watching them sit there for hours and kind of engineer like how something like a Ravener, which is a big giant serpent-like creature, would behave in combat, and they'll actually brainstorm with the entire team. They'll bring people in there like, what would you do if you were this thing, and we'll actually kind of act it out. It's great fun. So we can't wait to show you what we have up our sleeves next.